What or mute your keyboard. All right. I think we're here. Let's make sure we're good.
Oh, are we live?
Oh, we're
Can we
live
do
now.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
did
are.
it.
Oh, the thing. Come on,
We
Twitch.
in
All right,
there.
we're in. Hello, everybody. I am Lieutenant Hummus. I am joined by my two friends, Taboshi and Warning Track, who will be your casters
Hello.
for the evening. Why don't you say hi, you two?
Hi,
Hello,
you
everybody.
two.
That works too.
Hello.
Well played, sir.
Can you guys hear me all right? We
Yeah,
gotta check.
we can
Gotta
we,
make
we
sure
can
everything's
we can
good.
we can say. Oh, there's a lot of hypes going on. I think things are happening.
Things are indeed happening. I can see the stream is up.
Yeah, so much hype. I'm having a hype attack. Not
A hype
only, as I
attack.
mentioned, as I mentioned last week, not only do we have PAX to look forward to, which would be pretty hype by itself. We have the SCL finals tonight, and by finals, there are a lot of finals because there are a lot of leagues. This is the finals.
The
This
final
is
The
finals.
actually proper, like, for all the cards
For
finals.
all the marbles,
for all
the
the marbles, for all sorts of little trinkets, everything that could be wagered will be wagered. It's the Mayweather McGregor of Spy Party
You
tonight.
know, I was getting my coffee, just before the cast, and I was like, I wonder if someone's gonna make a comparison. So it took a
I'm
minute
gonna go
and
way more than
a
that.
minute and less than a minute and a half, and we've already done it. So A plus shit right there.
What I can do you one better. There's a little bit of a parallel that I don't think is at all forced in an attempt to be topical clumsily.
Zing.
The whole thing about Mayweather is that some people say he's kind of boring. He's got it down to a science. He lays low, lands a high percentage of punches, doesn't do anything too exciting. That's Kaylee. That's what it's like to be a camper in Spy Party. He makes you play his game. He makes you come to him, and he grinds you down. There's no secrets about it. You know what he's going to try to do, and sometimes you can't beat it anyway. It's the same thing with Mayweather. It's not about tricking people with your game plan. It's just about playing your game and winning anyway. KCM, on the other hand, is more of the wild card. He is probably the more fluid of the two players on both sides. So I think those contrasting styles make for a really interesting final.
I agree. I actually really like that comparison because yeah, Kaylee definitely has it down to I think a science is a great way to describe it. Like he knows like when he's sniping, he knows he's got his checklist. He knows exactly what he's gonna do, and he knows he can beat you with it. And yeah,
I'm
KCM I think is extremely adaptable, and hope he's got a great way of looking at the game, and I hope he's able to come up against that.
I mean, heck, we've got stats to back it up. I mean,
Oh
Keeley doesn't have
yes.
an amazing spy game in SCL3, but this season his sniper win percentage has been 93 and the third percent. That is absurd.
A 93% sniper win rate is incredible. I mean, I don't remember how many, like, I didn't run the count of how many, SCL sniper games he did, although I suppose I could run that query real fast live, but we're not going to do that. Um, like, 93% is incredible. Like, his style works for him, and that's incredible.
Yeah, well, you know what? That stat, the 93% that you're talking about with sniper wins, that's related to the stat you're going to see on the bottom right of that image, which is most banned high rise. This format caters well to his style here, I think, because he can ban the kind of things where you can't possibly, no matter how good you are as a sniper, you're not going to win Softel variants 93% of the time. There's just too much guesswork. There's too many AI who could have completed missions that you feel obligated to shoot. That's not going to work. But when you can ban that, when you can get that out of there so that you have to sneak a hardtail by him in almost every game, that's what makes a 93% sniper win rate possible.
So, do you think that's kind of like the way that KCM's going to start to look at this match is he has to really knock Kaylee out of his comfort zone?
Look at it that way. I mean, the comfort zone, like we're talking about, is just the hardtail, which means sneaking a hardtail by him. We saw that in last year's finals. Magician snuck a hardtail by Kaylee. I think it was a white purloin or something like that. It was really obvious, and he got it by him anyway. And we wondered if that was gonna, kind of put him on tilt a little bit. It was the worst way for someone like Kaylee to lose. It was the hardtail you're most likely to catch from someone who camps hardtails the hardest. But it didn't actually end up happening. I remember kind of Magician doubled down on some of the low light strategies and ended up burning him. But that was a big, big moment. And if you're KCM and you studied that final, you got to wonder if that's how you could beat him tonight. Or at the very least, maybe you have to push this in a soft tail kind of direction. Maybe you have to force him to guard fingerprint too. To get him, if not out of his comfort zone, at least on the edges of it.
Right. And that's certainly a strategy you can take on a lot of those four of whatever maps. Like, you can certainly do fingerprint on Courtyard too. You can do fingerprint on Ballroom. You just have to make a concerted effort in order to do that. And of course, then you end up in the Yomi story where if Kaylee knows you're going to be doing fingerprint, he's going to guard it, and then the logic circle goes round and round.
Right. So you need to be able to go back and forth, but really the only way you're going to beat a camper, and the only way a camper's not going to dominate SpyParty for the foreseeable future, is if you add more missions than they could possibly can't. So what you're really going to do is just force him to pay attention to fingerprint, add one more thing, and he's going to have to miss something at some point. Do we want to be talking about the picks and bans, by the way? They are coming in.
We do have those coming
let's talk
up,
about,
in fact.
Well, before we do that, let's talk about KCM a little bit, because, it takes two to tango, as they say. So KCM, I have his stats up now, a 70% sniper win rate, which, is still certainly respectable, especially in Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the spy win percentage, a 41% spy win percentage, which is, I think, incredible. You can see his pick where he's currently stealing the microfilm.
Normally, you don't want to be quite that obvious about it. Maybe not glaring at the sniper.
Don't glare at the sniper. So
that's not the attitude that got him a 41% spy win rate. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, I think his playing style, I mean, looking at his most picked, I think, picking Pub 3 of 5 is, I hope, Kaylee is probably going to end up banning that. But the most banned High-Res Any 4 of 8 is kind of really interesting to me. From what I remember, is he did play a lot of high-res, but maybe I'm now thinking of someone else in all my stat jungling.
Yeah.
Stat jungling.
Well, I like what I see there, though. Look at that. Pub any 3 of 5 and Gallery any 4 of 7. Pub in particular, I think we're going to see something like that. I think we're going to see him probably force Kaylee to play some Softail variants, any Softail variants, even if he doesn't like them. Remember, you're not picking maps you like, and you're not just picking maps they hate. You're picking maps with a relative advantage between what you like and what they hate. That's all that matters. And when you look at Kaylee's sniper win rate that we put up earlier, you got to get him away from that. Gallery, not quite the same, not a Softail variant, but I got to be honest, with all the occlusion, sometimes it's a little closer to it than some of the other maps too. So his most picked maps, I think, would be pretty good picks tonight.
Yeah.
Here's one interesting thing of note. It's not Gallery 4 of 8. It's Gallery 4 of 7.
Yeah, that is actually a really interesting
Yeah, that's
pick.
interesting.
I don't actually
Either
have anything to
way,
say
It
to
doesn't
that.
seem like a good... Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good fit necessarily for tonight, but let's see if he goes with it.
Either way, it's time to get into the picks and bans, I think. Kaylee wins the coin flip and opts to spy first. KCM starts things off by banning out Panopticon any 5 of 7.
See, that makes sense to me. He's okay with 5-8. He's going to make him work for it, or at least he's going to ban 5-7 first.
Yeah. Kaylee bans Softail High Rise, obviously.
Yep.
Making
Shocking
his 10th
nobody.
time banning that.
Yep.
KCM bans out the other Panopticon.
Yep, I think that's a wise ban. It's really no secret that Panopticon is, I think, Kaylee's favorite map. There's a lot going on, but I think it just, like we've been saying, it fits his style really well. So yeah, those bans, not surprising.
And Kaylee, interestingly enough, bans Hardtail High Rise.
Interesting.
Well, there it is. So yeah. I mean, even though it's a hardtail, it still plays differently. High Rise does. It plays closer to. It feels more like a Softail than a hardtail sort of map. So I don't have any problem with it. I find fingerprints are pretty plentiful, for example, on High Rise. But once he's banned to High Rise, assuming he's going to come around maybe and ban some balconies, we'll see. That might be a strategy.
Uh-oh.
These are the maps we are going to play on multiple occasions.
All right.
The first set of them anyway. KCM picks balcony any 2 of 3.
Yep.
Exactly what we were saying. Yep.
And Crazy Kaylee picks veranda 5 of 8.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Right. Like
Yeah.
if you can't give me Panopticon, I'm going to take veranda because you can't ban them both.
Exactly.
TM has a response to that response, doesn't he, Kobo?
He does indeed. KCM immediately bans out veranda 5 of 7. Crazy Kaylee bans out Softail Pub. KCM bans out Ballroom any 4 of 7.
Yep.
Crazy Kaylee bans out Hardtail Pub.
Kaylee, you're killing me
Seeing
here.
a very clear strategy. It's going exactly the way we suggested it might so far.
Yeah.
Now, More doubled maps. KCM is doubling up on Courtyard 2, any 4 of 7.
A little more surprising, but okay.
Crazy Kaylee doubling up on Courtyard 1, any 4 of 7.
Ooh.
That's the first shocker of the night, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's a lot of Courtyard.
It's a lot of Courtyard, but like Courtyard 1. Actually, so I'm thinking about this more. I'm willing to bet that Kaylee took another look at Courtyard 1 and realized like the really kind of wide FOV on that map kind of really leads towards that camping, right?
Suits his style. They're getting ready to start, by the way, so we probably should rush through.
Oh yeah. Let's go through the rest before we start commenting.
And this is just finishing up the festivities here. KCM taking up balcony pick 2 of 3.
Say that one more time.
Balcony pick 2 of 3.
Picked or banned?
No, he picked it.
Okay, yeah.
He picked pick. This is like an Abbott and Costello.
Right. Okay, got it. Yes. I was also.
He picked pick.
Okay. I was telling them that we're still going through the picks and bans. Please don't start playing yet.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Crazy Kaylee picks up Gallery, any 4 of 8.
Mm-hmm.
KCM picks up Double Modern, any 3 of 5.
Yep.
And to round it out, Crazy Kaylee picks up Ballroom, any 4 of 8.
All right, I think this is one hell of a draft. I think the only real surprise, like we talked about, was Courtyard 1, but I think mostly the opponent, the players have studied themselves. They know what they're trying to do. They know what they're trying to avoid. I think nothing really to do but to do it, right?
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Kaylee let both balconies slip through his grasp.
Yeah, that is potentially true. But I suppose we will clear this. I will get into the game, and then we'll get ready to get going.
Oh, look at this! Look at this mission setup.
Hold on.
With the balcony any 2-3.
Before we start that, don't tell them I'm not ready yet. I forgot. I need to set a few things.
Yeah, look at this. It's not going to be classic balcony at all. It's contact, seduce, and fingerprint.
Ooh, all right, there we go. Let's get the scoreboard. There we go. I will whisper them that we're ready. Actually, one of you whisper them that we're ready, because I don't know how to type anymore.
Right now. I just told them.
All right, sweet. Well, here we go. The grand finale of SpyParty SCL Season 3 Platinum KCM versus Crazy Kaylee. I will basically shut up and let you two take it away.
Crazy Kaylee starting things off on the spy side, KCM on the sniper, and we are underway.
Yeah, and this switching to fingerprint away from bug is in keeping with the map choices we saw. KCM came to the exact same conclusions we did. I think they're the smart conclusions. He might not like soft tells that much more, but the important thing is that Kaylee probably likes them even less, and this gives him the best chance.
Kaylee picking up that early 34% flirt. It's not a green test, but it's something.
I think Kaylee is using fingerprint. I'm going to be very curious to see whether or not KCM was planning on doing that as well, whether or not he follows suit.
Only time will tell.
Now, it looks like he's going to try to timer flirt here because he's already next to his ST, so why force the issue if you don't have to? If you get a chance to do another timer flirt from right next to them, it's pretty good. You're going to have time.
And he's doing a lot of talking, which is nice. Picks up a fingerprint on the drink, which is dangerous.
Yeah, KCM is tracking that very closely already. I don't think the fingerprint's going to work. The only way the fingerprint's going to help him is if an AI gets a couple of them and maybe forces
Indeed. Green test on the second flirt up to 85%. Gives him some breathing room for where the seduction target re-enters conversation from. And she re-enters in very nearly the same spot, and just a little bit farther away.
He's fine either way.
The BB.
He's already at 85%, no issue. He's talking during it. Ooh, KCM, if he talks again after this, you gotta wonder if he's gonna shoot.
He's been talking a lot, though, so...
Yes, this might do it. This might do it.
The third flirt, I think he's thrown...
Shot yet.
Yeah, I think he threw KCM off by just how much talking he was doing, and Crazy Kaylee managed to pick up game under 1.
Boy, this is the one thing you were not hoping for a start if you're KCM right there. I'm a little surprised that the shot didn't come off. I understand, like you're saying, maybe he's just thinking too much talking, too obvious, especially with the fingerprint. It seems like he was drawing too much attention to himself.
Yeah, and I think picking up just a single fingerprint is probably actually quite a good idea.
It's not a bad idea at all. So you notice the ST actually entered into the conversation with him, then stayed for a whole timer flirt, then left,
Yeah.
then came back. So if you're KCM, you probably don't want to feel too bad about that. Because you didn't really miss much. If you're Kaylee, you're thinking, well, the party handed me a gift and I opened it.
Absolutely.
So
So
it's kind of a
here we
bummer there
go.
for KCM for sure.
Yeah, it is. It looks like KCM on the spy side is going to go with a much more classic balcony setup. It is bug contact seduce, as we expect, as game number 2 goes underway. KCM starting things out outside of the conversation circle, gives himself the pick of the land, but not able to get in right next to the selection target as he wanted.
Same kind of start that Kaylee was fortunate enough to have at all. On balcony, whether or not the ST enters with you, next to you, as opposed to you entering next to them, sticks around afterwards, I mean, that can swing the game. It really just takes one thing like that, because one talk can be the difference. It's a green.
KCM double greening, though. He's got the green on the BB, which is super important, and the green on the flirt, which is very important from the distance he was at. So now he's at 44 on the flirt, but still can't get in close to the ST.
Well, in this case, you don't necessarily want to. If you got a 2 flirt anyway and you have 44%, I think he actually made the right move. Now you don't need to be quite as obvious about it. KCM might be a suspect for that early talk, but he's probably not been paired with purple dress.
But he probably has been paired with red plaid, who he's right next to again.
Right. So if you're KCM, maybe you're aware of that. I don't think you want to chase the windows, unfortunately. If it had been a little bit longer, you could have. But if she comes back in, she's going to come in close enough for him to potentially finish. Either a green from across, or there's a spot right next to him. Let's see. Nope.
We are at 69% on the flirt, so a close right white will be plenty. 35 seconds left to play. Remember, he also got that green banana bread, which is so big on this map.
Oh, he's going to need the green, I think. I think he's going to need a green here.
I think he is, and he hits it!
For this. I don't think he can shoot for this. I don't think he can shoot for it. Wow. He's going to match him.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Those were... yeah, I don't have much to say other than I am very surprised that that turned out the way it did.
KCM dodged a bullet there, and if you're KCM, you actually played well enough to win both games there. Absolutely. It took a lot of assistance from the party to lose that first game. KCM, I think, is actually, in terms of how he's playing, starting the way he wanted to start, even though it's still a tie.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, one thing I did want to say about Kaylee's spy performance, what I really loved about that game is he had the BP, he was 85% on... Never mind, I'm going to shut up. And he had...
Oh, are we doubling immediately? Apparently
I guess
we're doubling
so.
immediately as we step back in the balcony once more, this time
I think the championship rules are just a little bit different, if I remember right.
But I trust that Kaylee knows how they work.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's anyone who would know, it's Kaylee, for multiple reasons.
Well, I mean, it would also be the guy who programmed the drafter, but...
No, I just programmed the drafter. Wait, I'm not supposed to be talking.
Oh, it was a fake beep. It wasn't real.
And he's a highlight.
Good.
Yeah, now if you're KCM, you got to pounce on this. This is your chance. The party giveth and the party taketh away. It's takething away right now. If you're KCM, you cannot let this game get away with that gift.
If we're Kaylee, I think we just don't finish missions here.
The people in chat are convinced that this is a mistake and that they're doing the doubles wrong. If somebody can check, we should let them know sooner rather than later if you're positive, but be positive. Don't go based on memory here. There's a lot of wrinkles to the championship match that do not apply to other ones.
Either way, 1 minute left to play and no progress on Flirt. I don't think he's planning on finishing missions here. I think he's planning on trying to hope that one of the AIs has enough suspicious to them to take a bullet. And I think that's how you have to play this right now. Look, he's even gotten a neutral light.
Yeah, he's still in big trouble. I'm going to whisper them right after this game, by the way. We're going to make absolutely sure that this game counts. Some of them have not played for a couple of weeks now, and remember, championship matches are not the same. There's a championship match and there's a championship match. You know, a
Yeah.
silver or a gold championship match does not have quite the same rules as the diamond championship match.
By the way, 20 seconds left to play. The shot comes off, and Crazy Kaylee quite literally dodges a bullet.
Yeah, well, let's see if it even counts. I'm asking them right now to make sure.
Let me just see if I can find the rules to pull them up here.
Says he can't remember, but he thinks it's fine to play them through.
Like, I agree. Like, even if they're doing it wrong, it's probably fine to play it through. At
That
least
doesn't
for
sound
this
like
one.
the Kaylee I know. Normally we play the rules are the rules. Okay.
Well,
We'll see if they agree. If they agree, obviously nobody has any problem with it if they
Yeah.
both agree, and it shouldn't make much difference. Although there's a bit of a conflict of interest now. They're talking about this after Kaylee has won another
Yeah.
spy game. Very unfortunate otherwise. About it now. So again,
yeah,
Casey,
it does. It looks like they're playing the ordering wrong. From what I can tell, it looks like the ordering is being played wrong.
Oh well.
he said, okay, he's saying per agreement we go through in drafted order. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Per agreement,
All
go
right.
through in draft order. Sounds good to me. So I'll put that point up. Boom. So that brings Kaylee up by 1. We'll go into the next map, which is balcony again. Man.
Per agreement, though, is I believe actually a rule. In
Yes.
Yeah.
like
Like if both
that-
players agree, like this isn't.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, we have honor.
But
Exactly.
I'm
Ponoob is correct.
glad. It's always good to check, though.
That's right. Trust
So
but
that's actually
verify.
that's a pretty brutal game right there. Kaylee way behind early on,
Yeah.
but just one of those things where another suspect does just enough, and I think maybe the fake kind of threw him a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. But you can tell Kaylee knew how bad the start was, knew he was behind enough that he couldn't afford to finish missions, and played the game accordingly.
Yeah, I'll give Kaylee credit. He might have been in a tough position there, and I don't think that what he did was a high percentage strategy, but I do think it was probably the only strategy he could have done to give himself a chance to win.
All right.
Don't forget that you need to rejoin the match because they remade.
Yep.
Oh, they remade. Thank you.
Yes.
I wasn't paying it.
Man, I shouldn't have said anything, and then they're starting. So I hope you're in.
I'm in.
All right, we're in there.
If KCM can now, after all this talk about sniper win rates, wouldn't it be something if the Spies win the first 4 games? Although it is balcony, for what it's worth.
It is indeed balcony. Let's see if KCM can keep this thing tied up. Not able to get an early flirt off, though.
That's rough. And he did get a highlight for a quick talk, though, early on. Already, just based on that alone, on balcony, you already have to start thinking, do I want to try to finish?
Yeah. I like the early lead from KCM. It's a different look than Spies are used to playing.
Yeah.
I think if he hit that green, he tries to finish, but now
I was gonna say just that. Yeah, I think I like going and seeing how that flirt turns out. If it's green, you can timer flirt your way to victory, possibly. Now that you haven't, a little tougher. He's gonna double down. He's gonna keep moving. He's gonna be active.
Spies are definitely giving some different looks in these second 2 games, which is very interesting to see.
But he's not going to go right back next to the same ST. Oh, well, you know what? That didn't actually hurt him. It was a low light that was out of conversation anyway.
And
Flirt at the
hitting
window.
the window flirt, he does get it, but takes a bullet in the meantime. Crazy Kaylee manages to put himself up by 2 on the balcony.
Really kind of went all in on that early flirt there. You see, he got the highlight for the early talk. And I think he was trying really hard to pair. And when you think you have someone paired and they visit windows like that after the BB, really hard not to shoot.
Absolutely.
If you're KCM, the only thing you're annoyed about is that none of his other suspects went to windows together, of course.
Yeah. Either way, Crazy Kaylee is sticking to his guns and is now up 3-1 after the first map.
Yeah, and it was, remember, KCM's map choice. So that's not the outcome he was hoping for. But again, you had that first game that was just so gift wrapped, and you're already got to be thinking about what could have been if that game's flipped. But at this point, KCM's gonna have to break serve on some of these maps that favor Kaylee's style. But the good thing is that even though the Softail maps might be a better bet against Kaylee, KCM is absolutely capable of winning in any one of these games.
And we're going to see if he can do just that here and now on Veranda with Crazy Kaylee on the Spy and KCM on the Sniper. Oh, immediately doing the book cheese in the back.
Oh, I don't think KCM. Okay, so here's the thing. You got to wonder early in a set like this, if KCM did see that, he wouldn't necessarily shoot right away. So we don't actually know yet.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
I think
it looked clean, but we cannot tell.
I'm not sure because I just didn't see KCM doing a lot with the laser. I didn't see a lot of cursor movement right then. I'm not positive. I'm a little suspicious that he might actually be onto Kaylee already, but there's just so much movement. It's almost impossible to tell. And if you're KCM, you have no reason to let us know with your sniper behavior. You don't want Kaylee to know either when he looks at that replay.
Absolutely. Got the bug in conversation, which is very nice to have. Got 34% on the flirt. If that did indeed come off clean, this is an incredibly strong start for Crazy Kaylee.
Yeah, he was able to combine it with a flirt too. The Amba and his seduction target in the same place, and he squeezes right between them. Again, Kaylee playing well, but at the same time, the party is just lining everything up for it.
Yeah, and I wasn't paying enough attention to say, but I think it's very possible that the ambush showed up after the fact. Don't quote me on that, though.
It's very convenient, and that's always better, by the way. When the ambush sidles up to you, the sniper is just not going to look at it as closely, and why would they?
Second flirt comes off on a timer flirt. It's up to 68% now on 2 close whites.
The ST very helpful, not leaving. And if you're Kaylee, a timer flirt's exactly what you want when you've gotten those 2 hardtails out of the way so quick. You want to take your time and get the free flirt. And again, the party obliges. Wow, he's going all in.
His statues. Oh, hits a green swap as well. Doesn't even take a single inspect though. So that may have been a misclick.
That might be, but it's either a misclick or a misstep, I think, because this is absolutely the kind of thing that could turn the game around and give it to KCM after all, if he's watching close enough. Oh, he sees someone pull the statues. He's got to watch that now.
I can only imagine that was supposed to be an inspect, and then once he accidentally hit the swap instead, he got out of dodge. I don't think Kaylee is the type of person who would try to pick up more hardtails in such a fashion.
I'm just now noticing the statue. He's got to have it down to 2. He's got it down to 2. He figured it out. He highlit them both right away. He's got it. Yep. He has absolutely narrowed this party down. The BB's going to determine it. If you're Kaylee now, suddenly you go from a huge lead to your only chance of winning being to try to frame the person who green swapped.
Yeah, and the incredible start from Crazy Kaylee. Small mistake on mission ordering when you're trying to hit the right clicks is maybe going to cost him the game. In fact, likely going to cost him the game. He is playing so slow now. He knows how bad this is.
You're right about the misclick, but I wouldn't completely discount it being intentional because you've seen this when spies get away with things, the rush of success, sometimes they press their luck and they just go all out, especially if they want to think about rushing or something. I would definitely put money on your explanation instead, but neither would totally shock me. Kaylee, though, you're right, though, playing very cautiously at this point.
In conversation with the double agent, I think he knows that the SDA is in convo with the highlight, and the wrong shot comes off. Somehow, someway, Crazy Kaylee manages to eke another one in just barely under the radar.
I'm a little surprised at that. Now, obviously, KCM was not there to see the fade, and how could he be? It's Veranda. You have to do it. You really don't have time in the middle of the game like that to stare at statues. But you do know, he does know that he's dealing with a green-white situation, and he's shooting the person who he would be giving a white to, basically.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking that's the case, you're thinking that Kaylee's trying to do that green-white frame, that he's trying to act like a green swapper because he followed him shortly afterwards. Is that something he would really do? Kaylee would green swap in the middle of the game. Would he really fake a green swap, pretend to be a green swapper in the middle of the game? That's very different. That can backfire. So I think I don't like that decision there. I think he did a really good job narrowing it down that quickly, but I don't think that should have worked because you know that if that is what's going on, if there's a green-white swap situation, Kaylee's best bet is going to be to frame, so you should be looking out for a frame.
It was Kaylee's game to win at first and then flipped completely around halfway through. Crazy Kaylee still manages to find the win. It's 4-1 as KCM picks up the spy roll with the slowest character in the game.
I think there's a decent chance we're going to see a walking bug from KCM this game, but we'll see. KCM, at this point, he just needs to slow down. He needs to take a breath. Don't barrel ahead. It's a long match still. It's much longer than the other ones. You can take your time. You just need to sit here, grind out a couple of spy wins, and get this back on track.
And it looks like KCM's doing exactly that as far as slowing down is concerned. He might be just not doing missions this game.
Entirely possible. I don't have a problem with the decision either because the spies haven't really been close to timing out as far as I can see. They've been doing missions pretty hardcore. And the nice thing about that is, well, if you're smart, at some point you got to play against that. At some point you gotta make him pay, and that's what he's doing. Look at that fake.
Fake banana bread comes off, gets 2 lowlights, 3 lowlights now, and it really does look like KCM is not doing missions.
It's an all-in kind of move. Here's the problem. Nobody else is doing missions either. Once again, I just don't... Right, so it's early in the match, mind you, here, in the game, rather. But the party is not accommodating. I don't see people going to statues. I see very little activity. Look at this. People just cloistered in these little conversations, not doing anything. This is amazing.
The party has been so kind to Crazy Kaylee so far, and I think KCM is realizing how little activities there's been. He's starting on his flirt, but I don't know if he has time to finish missions now. He might try to go for a time ad and just try to rush.
I don't know if you noticed, a bug there did not take, but also was not seen or particularly visible. At this point, if you're KCM, even if you are planning on framing here or just sort of, slow playing and not framing any one particular person, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to show something. I'm pretty sure it's going to have to be something like a purloin.
I agree. And here's Toby. Let's see if he's willing to take it.
It's the best time, although at least, boy, still, has anyone gone to statues? I don't see, has anyone gone to statues? That's not a rhetorical question. I really don't, I'm not sure if anyone has.
Yeah, not that I've noticed.
Imagine trying to frame someone on veranda and not a single person goes to statues. This is amazing.
Man, party has been so kind to Crazy Kaylee so far, not taking the list either, so
he's gonna have to do something. Here's the thing, when the party is this inactive, you're gonna feel very confident that you haven't missed anything. Sometimes if you get near an end of a game against a player who normally finishes, you might shoot just because you think, you know what, I guess I missed something. I guess I missed a microfilm. Yeah. I guess I missed a bug. But if you're Kaylee and you see how docile this party has been, aren't you gonna think, no, I think he's timing out. I don't think he got that much by me. If the party is at least active, at least there's a lot of movement, then maybe you'll think, maybe I did miss something. But in this case, I don't think so. I think it's going to be hard to induce a shot without showing a hardtail, and maybe not even then.
33 seconds left on the clock. KCM.
There's a statue. Is that one?
It may just have been.
What did I just say last game? You can't take time to stare at statues on veranda? Well, so little is happening that Kaylee actually was zoomed in exclusively on that statue just to make sure it wasn't a late swap.
15 seconds. I think KCM is going to try to make it hang at 0 with a green watch check.
Yeah, he knows it's not going to happen. Yeah, he's going to try to do it.
It's the green. He hits it. He crashed? Oh my god!
What on earth?
This is the greatest play ever!
Oh my goodness!
This is the greatest play ever! He's just spamming red check watches.
Kaylee gets it. No, Kaylee gets it. Kaylee is not fooled. That is an incredible strat, but Kaylee has absolutely not been fooled. Oh my god, I've never seen anything like this.
That was
The
such
brilliant is
an
over.
incredible move, and Kaylee played that exactly right. He didn't see anyone at
my
windows, so he just started low-lighting people. KCM pulling out all the stops in this match, but not finding a way to make it happen against Crazy Kaylee quite yet.
It's going to end right here. This is going to be it. That's it.
What
That's it.
an incredible play.
Oh my God. So I just have to say,
I freaked out. Like when that beeping started happening, like that freaked me out, man. Jesus.
Seen such a good idea that didn't work.
Yeah,
I feel so bad.
Wait, did you?
What? I mean, first of all, I don't know how long he was sitting on that idea, but that is a brilliant freaking idea. He busted it out at such a good time. And by the way, there's a reason he waited till then. Veranda, because you could hide at that far window, and you are totally invisible, basically, to the sniper unless they swing all the way around.
Yes,
I'm
broke for me too.
Okay, good. I think the event. I think all that spamming
Look at
broke
that
the
log
event.
with all the
Yeah,
red-
just I'm
look
going
at all
through
the
it.
red,
Just,
the
but
giant red
what's
bar at the
amazing
bottom
is
of
the
that.
timing. Like we've all heard the over.
Is
Oh
absolutely
my!
incredible. I'm really impressed that he didn't shoot. I wonder if maybe there was just something a little bit wrong in the beginning that tipped Kaylee off. Maybe the beeping wasn't fast enough right away. And it definitely is not quite as quick. Yeah, I think they might have to reboot here.
Yeah, I mean, I exited. I went back in.
Did they
Yeah,
actually
I just dipped and came back.
Yeah.
And
It seems to be okay. I'm
All
sure
right,
they're.
setting
I'm
up the
sure
next
they're
game. So
discussing
that's
that right
kind
now.
of a bummer,
Yeah.
for KCM again. Not just the bad luck, but that such a brilliant strat doesn't actually work. I got to be honest. If that's me, I probably shoot.
Yeah,
so,
same.
So here's.
I think.
one thought.
Unfortunately, this. It might have actually worked a little better. If, again, the party had been a little more active. Wodar pointing out, of course, that there's no overtime text on the screen. Well, yes, but how many shots have you seen in overtime that made no sense? How many times have you seen a shot in overtime of someone who was not even doing anything just now, who could not possibly be done, who could not possibly have finished missions? In the moment, especially with the pressure on in a situation like this, that will absolutely happen. I'm not at all surprised. Or wouldn't have been all surprised.
Holy heck. What a play.
I'm sad that is going to take. It's going to be another year until somebody can use that now.
I know.
Right? Yeah. Everyone. It's the Dota International just happened. I guess it just happened like a month ago.
At the right time,
And
if nothing else, my hat is off to KCM for advancing.
Right,
the meta
advancing
of
the meta.
game
That's the
with
new
something
thing.
that somehow,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of games we've played, nobody's ever thought of that. As far
No
as
one
I
has
can tell.
ever done that in the history of SpyParty.
That was awesome.
So
That was. I'm so sad that it didn't work.
I know.
Because what a move.
Yeah.
like it's almost
What
like
a move.
yeah.
Well, now if you're KCM, you've got to go nuts. You got to do something.
right now.
But that was it, right? I was kept saying you wanna, if you're down big, the best thing you can hope for is maybe to get someone on tilt or something. That was the tilt move.
Yeah.
That was absolutely his best chance to induce a panicked shot, something that Kaylee does not normally do, and try to turn this game around. So I actually think not only is it an interesting strat, but I think he did it at exactly the right moment. Now he's just got to play really, really good the whole way.
Let's see if he can do it. Crazy Kaylee stepping into the spy side. KCM on the sniper on our second round of Veranda 5 of 8. Starting things off in combo with the double agent, and is going to take it right off the bat as well.
I really wish we had video of KCM clicking that mouse as fast as he was.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 lowlights.
Them
4
at
lowlights.
statues. 2 of them at statues. That is wrong.
5 lowlights.
Good job from KCM. He gets pretty much every possible lowlight out of that, or pretty close to it. Statue visit, that'll make his job easier.
Yeah, Boots was available for
Yep.
the lowlight, but I think one of the people he lowlit wasn't, actually.
Wrong a little bit. Boots, though, next to with the red bookcase, you can duck out of that conversation and get over there very quick. Very hard to be sure about that unless you're looking right at it, so I don't mind him not getting that low light. Either way,
Absolutely.
none of them are the spy.
But look at this, already has a green flirt and a bug in convo as well.
It's not too bad.
Smallman's such a dangerous character.
Look, Bug on Veranda is like Bug on Panop. As long as you're willing to wait, take your time, sit next to the Amba
Green
for a
Purloin.
while.
It's a green purloin. We have a reject as well. There's the seduction being finished up.
Hurry this all at once
Is
now.
he just gonna walk this over? He's got cover from the twin. He does. He just pulls the book away.
I think you might have seen it.
But it was seen!
Wow, there it is.
Crazy Kaylee with everything.
Yep.
He had the perfect game up until then, but he wanted to rush so badly he gets caught out on the end of it. And KCM, after I think the second game in the match, finally manages to pull one back.
Yeah, it's something. I think in that case, I actually understand why Kaylee did that, because he's thinking when that purloin goes off, he's probably going to shoot me unless I've already finished, unless there's a lot of other stuff going on. But he just goes a little too hard there. I think it was a fine decision, but KCM on top of it. You can't expect him to miss that many hardtails.
Absolutely. Into the next one we go. KCM on the Spy, still down 2-5, but has a chance to cut the lead to 2 right here and now against Crazy Kaylee's deadly sniper.
Kaylee not looking, though. I don't think for a second he's going to be able to get much out of that. I think he probably missed it, or at least is not at the point where he can highlight or low light much for it. So let's see if KCM can use that time.
Absolutely. And that's a nice little play from KCM because it hasn't come out yet, and it gives him more room to work with.
Now he does have a... Oh, look at that. So, couple early statue visits. Party being a little nicer this time. On the ST now, also at statues. Kaylee has not seen it yet, though. Interesting. Hasn't highlighted for it yet. The other hardtails, I think the guest list in particular, very quickly. KCM with a fingerprint. There we go. We were talking about this. Maybe try to expand this a little bit. Don't play his game. Get away with one hardtail, do fingerprints, force him to track it.
Yeah, I think so. If KCM can find a second fingerprint under the radar somewhere from like a book or a statue or a drink, this could be almost a free mission for KCM.
Now look at this. 4 people already gone to statues. The Walt Disney character, whatever you call him. 5 people now. He's gone twice. So if KCM is paying attention to the party, you have a prime frame opportunity here. And he might not need it because he's mostly done with the flirt, and he's already got a fingerprint.
Oh, wow. Oh, no! He did this beautiful walkabout to try to get another seduce off faster. It was a shootable path, but it was a really nice play, but the ST just bailed on him. That's
not what I was owing about. What I was owing about is that 3 of his 5 statue highlights got bumped down, including the Walt Disney character who'd already been twice. That absolutely got Kaylee back in this game. He was, I would say, falling behind there a little bit. Too many suspects. Now he's got the party very whittled down, and KCM, I think, is behind now.
Yeah, I think so. That is absolutely brutal. I think there's still a fingerprint hot on the head statue in the back.
Then you need to combine missions.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think KCM was paying a whole lot of attention to the ambo when he was there. We do have the seduce done. We do have blue microfilm in pocket. And with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play, this is still definitely doable.
Yeah, 2 missions done, 2 missions half done, basically. Not a good time to bug.
Position for an NCC bug.
He's moving around a lot, too, and the problem is with the lowlights Kaylee has, you notice that a lot. When you get the party narrowed down, you can just notice who's moving around the most, and that's usually the spy.
Yeah.
Does not get the fingerprint.
Yeah, not able to get the difficult fingerprint on the books. There was another one available at the statue for the longest time, but that's now difficult as well.
I like what he's doing, by the way. He's already got the microfilm in pocket, so he's going to go back to the same bookcase. There's always a chance that gets you a low light, or at least you're not going to get looked at very closely, because if he sees you leave the green bookcase, bookshelf, and he sees you go back to the same one, he's not going to watch you as closely. And case in point, microfilm done, and I don't think he's a suspect at all for it.
And playing with the turban is very helpful there because it's
the fingerprint. There it is.
Uniform, so it's hard to see. The fingerprint comes off. Now we just need one more mission. We have a minute and 10 to get it, and we have the inspect still.
Do you want it? Well, that's what I was gonna say. Do you want to go to statues twice in the last minute? He's gonna swap instead.
He swapped it.
It's a white swap. Kaylee's
this
not
is
looking.
Beautiful. Crazy Kaylee moving all the way around to check it. I don't think he doesn't see it in time, and KCM slips another spy win past Crazy Kaylee, getting it in. It's now 3-5, and we're doing the thing again. God damn it.
And the thing
we're gonna jump back. That's okay.
That's fine. So you want to talk about
I didn't
tilting?
want to say this before the game, but I was certainly thinking it. There's no such thing as a must-win game until you're literally at match point. But at that point, he needed a spy win bad, and he got it. A
Did.
big, big spy win. And you did it on Crazy Kaylee's terms.
I was just gonna say
That's
that.
huge.
Like that's like the biggest tilt of going to like the map that Crazy Kaylee picked and the map that really, really leans towards his sniping style, and you pull out the spy victory. Like, man, well played from um KCM. Like I think he
Yeah.
made a
Also,
lot of
Kaylee-
really good decision making.
Absolutely.
Kaylee's asking me for the score. I'm telling him 5-3. We're positive about that?
Yes, correct. 5-3 in favor of Kaylee.
All right. Yeah, they need to double check now after each match.
Oh, right, because they don't have the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So now, if you're KCM, you are one spy win away from being in this again.
Indeed, and the map of choice to try to get that spy win, unfortunately, is Courtyard 2 coming up next, as Crazy Kaylee is going to start the festivities off as the general under KCM's
By the way, Wodar is
rifle.
pointing out, Wodar is saying in chat, I've not verified this personally, we mentioned that 93% win rate. Wodar is saying that the 7%, those were all on Softail variants. He thinks that might have been the first hardtail win against Kaylee in the SCL this season.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Believe
Times,
that.
Tobo, this year have I said that I hate BBs that knock out early statue visitors. That one knocked out 2 of them.
That's a rough one. Luckily, there's still people going there, including the seduction target, which is nice to see.
Is the KCM is not using the highlights for statue visitors anymore. He used it for possible BBers instead, and that turns out to be the right decision because it was indeed real.
Yeah. Oh, it's a white swap? What?
It should end right here. Is he waiting for confirmation?
Oh, the ST comes back again. So we get another free one, but there's no way. Yeah.
He's got it. He's just lining up a shot. Oh, if that was another misclick, or if Kaylee is just swap happy tonight. But now, oh my God, there it is, 5-4. And it's not easy to win against Kaylee with a hardtail, and it's not easy to win on Courtyard 2 as Spy. He's got to do both, but if he does, we will be knotted up again.
Oh man, have we found the drama tonight? KCM was down 5-1 and has just swung 3 games straight, I believe.
This is huge right here. And, obviously we talk about going on tilt from a specific game. You can go on tilt from losing a few in a row because, you're still going to be tied even if you win this. But at this point, you'll have been tied after a 4-game lead. That's something.
Yeah.
Did you see that like flirt aggression? I love the get the green flirt and then get the hell out breaking animation. Oh my, sorry, I just had to butt in there, but oh man, that was great.
This. 1 minute in. Yeah, he's done with the flirt already. And look at the statue visitors. If you're KCM, 2 statue visitors.
Yeah, KCM is very good about this sort of thing. Very little unorthodox things that he can do on Spy. As we saw with the fake overtime, green swap coming off. As KCM steps into his statue, this could be a very fast game if Kaylee doesn't shut him down for this.
He's going to go BB. He's going to do what Kaylee tried to do where he did the microfilm while the purloin was pending. He's going to try to BB while the swap is pending, and there's just going to be too much going on. That's what he's betting on. Oh, the DA does not. Oh, no, that pathing. He's got to follow him.
I don't think it was seen.
I don't think it was seen.
It might have been, though. Couple more low lights coming off. Look at how many low lights!
He saw the swap. It's over.
Yep, saw the swap. Saw the swap. Tried to bug. KCM's getting chased around the Rosie by Crazy Kaylee and was just not able to get away. Crazy Kaylee is able to hold serve on the first round of Courtyard 2. It's 6-4.
I hate to keep beating this drum, but I wonder if KCM wins that game if the DA doesn't bail. If that BB goes off and he hasn't seen the swap yet because it hasn't happened yet, is he going to get shot? I don't know. As it turned out, there was nothing else going on. He was staring right at the statue when a low light took it, by the way. I think the DA leaving there, I don't know if he would have won the game, but it certainly made it almost impossible for him to when he left.
Yeah, I don't know. Kaylee was on that So, like, the instant the swap came off,
Well,
Kaylee
right,
was
because
ready
he
to
was
shop.
looking at it when it happened. The question is, would
Yeah.
he be looking at it when it happened if a BB had just gone off? That's pretty hard to imagine.
That's true.
I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it necessarily, but let's put it this way. He would have had better odds than he ended up having.
Well, Crazy Kaylee starting with a super fast BB and picking up a highlight for it. Does pick up 51% on the flirt as well, though.
Now, if you're KCM, this is the one you really want to win. It's a bummer that you didn't get that spy win, but the one you really want to do, you gotta hold serve here.
Yep. Swaps again on the green test.
What is going on with these swaps?
I don't know.
Well, there it is. That's just what a low stress win for KCM all of a sudden.
Yeah. This is very unlike Kaylee. Like, Kaylee doesn't have a great win percentage on the spy. It's up like 25%. But I almost never see him with these sorts of Hail Mary white swaps.
Yeah, we're right back into it now. Of course, KCM did a white swap on Veranda, but that was very deliberate, obviously. He was trying to force him to shoot or force him to have to shoot within 10 seconds, which he didn't. It was the right decision then. These white swaps do not feel very calculated. White swaps are almost always only calculated by Kaylee if they're at the last mission done near the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, KCM starting things off with a little bit of a distance on the green flirt gets him 45%.
I think maybe a lot of what Kaylee does is I'm going to go for this swap. If I green it, I have a decent chance of winning, and if I don't, okay. You know, he's okay with losing. He's figuring I'm going to lose a lot of spy games anyway. Difficult fingerprint, gets it.
Beautiful from KCM there. That could be a huge game changer, although unfortunately it is on a briefcase.
And as we talk about all the time, even if someone is tracking fingerprint, they're not usually tracking it well enough to be positive whether or not it was a difficult, so you usually get penalized anyway. Case in point, KCM is highlight.
Indeed. 2 minutes left to play. No completions yet, but a lot of progress.
Yeah, there's something to be said for if your Kaylee is the spy for just being very aggressive. And look, if you hit those greens, you're fine. And if you don't, well, there's a pretty good chance you're going to lose a spy anyway against someone like KCM. So just keep rolling. It's worked for him so far, but I think KCM might have finally settled in a little bit here as sniper.
This is very true. KCM playing things very slow for a few moments here. Let's see where he goes next. It looks like he's going to get another flirt on the board. Not going to be able to finish it with this one, but does hit a white test to bring him up to 79%.
He's a fingerprint makes me think he really wants to double up some missions here. He's waiting for the ambo go to statues. He's waiting for a chance to flirt at statues, do two things in a row, and just string his missions together at the very end. He's still got a minute, so it's not out of the question. But if you want a time ad, I would do it pretty soon.
Very good bouncing from KCM there. And oh no!
Boy. Missed the pad.
What a brutal loss for KCM to take. He was probably a relatively decent suspect already. But, like, you have to be to earn a highlight before a statue visit against Crazy Kaylee, but to lose on a missed pad like that just hurts.
Now, again, if you're going to lose, you're probably going to lose a spy game anyway. So probably not a huge loss, but that's pretty rough because Kaylee is just hanging on to that lead and he can just grind him down. Although I want to remind everyone that the rules for the Diamond Championship are different. The fact that Kaylee was the #1 seed, it doesn't mean he wins a tie. He doesn't need 8 wins and win any tiebreaker automatically there. There's a special tiebreak for the championship.
Yep, and in fact, I believe it goes to 10 this time? Like, best of 20 in the actual games? If you take the reins on this, I can check real quick.
Oh, it's convoluted. Don't worry. We can look that up if it becomes necessary because there's a lot of little rules. I think it is, at least. Though, KCM would certainly like for it to come to that. Instant green purloin from Kaylee and a BB to distract. And KCM has just seen it. Let's see what he does. How sure is he? Sure, he's not going nuts on the low lights. I think that, look, we're talking about those swaps earlier, about them seeming so uncharacteristic. I don't think they are. I think Kaylee's thinking the percentage of the top level anyway are so small, just be really aggressive. Oh, KCM, though, his decision-making so far is spot on. He's gotten all good low lights so far, and he successfully narrowed down who could have done it, and one of them is Kaylee.
Yeah, this does not look like a good situation for Crazy Kaylee as the spy here, and it actually looks like if someone gets to 13 points is what they need to win in regulation time.
If it comes to that. Kaylee, I actually thought that was really going to work there. It was a very good early green purloin, and KCM kind of hesitated, it looked like, just looking at the laser movement. But now he's made all good decisions since. The party, the number of suspects he's got, still a little too big, but he's pretty well whittled down. He absolutely extracted a heavy price for that purloin. And that's what we say, right? If you're not going to catch the purloin, you need to at least make them pay for it.
Absolutely. Crazy Kaylee taking another innocent drink, which is a little thing that most spies aren't going to do, but...
Well, this is the problem with the early purloin, or with any early hardtail, or on missed bug, or anything like that. You don't know if you're high-lit, or low-lit, or what.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to sort of pick one, and Kaylee has apparently decided he's not at all sure he got away with that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's only 1 minute and 8 left to play. He's got the 1 completion. Doesn't even have Flirt done yet, but he's going to do that right now. Doesn't have a single inspect on the board either.
And no BB, so except for the fake, of course, which KCM, oh, he's all over it. Wow, good job.
Yeah, just takes the shot on finishing the Flirt up. Very strong sniper play from KCM there.
Yeah, now that could have gone a couple different ways. We're never going to know his thought process. So it's possible he saw the purloin and was just being super careful with those other highlights, just waiting for some kind of confirmation. That's possible. It's also possible that he just narrowed it down to 5 or 6 people and just watched them and nailed Kaylee for just moving around and flirting, which would be more impressive. But either way, he got the win he needed, and he still has a chance to tie it right here.
I think we're going to be saying that quite a bit. Like we already have. It's 6-7 in favor of Crazy Kaylee, although it is a sniper favored game. SpyParty is even so much more so when Crazy Kaylee's involved.
Yeah, and Courtyard 1 not helping matters there either. This could be it. This could be KCM's best chance.
Really, on Courtyard 1?
I think so. I think it's weird, okay? Because I understand that there are all sorts of things we can say about Courtyard 1 as a competitive balance map, but we're really only thinking about it as one game right now. Maybe more if they keep going, but one game that I'm guessing neither of them have practiced very much.
This is true. It was Crazy Kaylee's pick. I think he just really wants to play a lot of Courtyard, and this is similar enough to Courtyard 2 that he's probably quite comfortable with it. KCM does start things off with the 34% on the Flirt, and it looked like he was going to go right back again, but opts not to.
Strategy makes sense if you assume that Kaylee's main thing is reducing visual occlusion. He just wants to be able to see what he's shooting at. That's why he would pick Courtyard twice. KCM, though, again, gotta wonder, is he going to try to finish or not? He might be waiting to frame someone.
It's certainly possible. The BB comes off.
2 statue visitors.
Did he twitch after the BB, or was that just...
Incomparable
Bug comes off!
Oh my goodness, I don't think he saw it. I don't think he saw that at all.
Yeah, it was on camera. It was clearly on camera, but I think Crazy Kaylee's eyes were elsewhere for a split second.
Walked right by, too, gave him a little bit of a block. It was unless you were looking right there, I'm not sure it was visible, and he did. KCM twitched because you wait at that point for the sniper to notice how far away you are, realize you're not a threat to bug, and then pay less attention, and he's got to try to finish it off with a fingerprint. He doesn't want to go to statues.
I don't blame him. Man, oh man, like it's not as easy to guard bug when it's in convo. It looked like he was too far away at first. It was a really obvious position.
Here.
The laser was starting it. Oh no, not able to get the Flirt done. 97%. This is still very winnable for KCM though as he steps away from
fingerprintable statue. Yep, I was just about to say, that's why I was interrupting, because he was waiting. Oh no!
But the shot comes off on the fingerprint!
Oh
my god, Crazy Kaylee, after missing a critical bug, manages to just barely pull it back at the end.
Oh, I have so much to say about
god.
This. So I thought the Flirt was what was going to mess him up there, is not finishing that Flirt and going for the fingerprint. It's really interesting. We talked about maybe how fingerprint would be the way to get him. Apparently, Kaylee thinks that as well, because he has been guarding fingerprint like a hawk. He has absolutely been on that. I haven't seen all of Kaylee's games, but I don't think he shoots for fingerprint this aggressively normally. I don't think he watches it this closely normally. I think KCM had a win in his pocket there. I think if he goes to other statues, he maybe gets shot, maybe he doesn't. But we can definitively say now, based on 2 of these shots, that Kaylee has been ready for the fingerprint as a possible weakness.
The play has just been so good so far. Crazy Kaylee still in pole position here.
Because you snuck the hardtail by him. I understand your decision to fingerprint, but 2 things have happened now. One is you've probably gotten away with a hardtail. The other is he's already shot, presumably for fingerprint once. Now KCM knows. So here's the question. So here's the question. If you're KCM, do you do it anyway? Or if you're Kaylee, do you think, now I've made my point, I don't have to watch for it ananymore?
I think Kaylee's going to keep watching it.
How many CY1 matches they've done now?
I think this is the second. Is it? No.
That was the second time.
Yeah, we're uneven. What am I talking about?
Yeah, we're even. Kaylee leading by 2, 6-8.
So they want to know if they've done 2 or 4.
Oh, they've done 2. So they should do one more round through it. And then off to balcony.
They did double courtyard 1. God damn.
Yeah, there's 2 doubled sets in the championship match.
Yeah, I just didn't realize, like, there's been a lot of courtyard going on. Because we doubled courtyard 2 and courtyard 1 now. Now as we step into the next game, Crazy Kaylee on the spy side, KCM on the sniper. And this is, like, since the start of the game, this has been the sniper party we've been expecting.
Hasn't been. Some of that is just Kaylee being very aggressive, getting some party help, combining in some improbable wins. But it has started to settle into that now.
Stepping in for his first flirt right now. Would love to get the green test off the top for the possible 2 flirt. Waiting for his turn to talk as well, but only picks up 34% on the flirt with a close white. A BB to boot, actually. We've got, how many lowlights was that?
Sure. Kaylee, by the way, if you're Kaylee, he's still being aggressive, and why not? It's been working.
Yeah, that was 4 lowlights he let off there, though.
Pretty good cost to extract for that BB. If you're KCM, you got to be happy with that.
Indeed, especially considering one of them was Hylet at the time.
I think this is it, right? Kaylee, if he wins this, it's over.
I don't think so.
Well, it'll be 9 then.
We have the extra doubles, though, compared to the usual. I think he has to get to
There's so
13,
many different rules.
I think it was. Like, he has to get a lot of games.
Yeah, not even for the right. Not even for the OT. Fingers crossed, because there are a lot of OT rules too.
Well, Crazy Kaylee's picking up his first statue here. Does he 2-cycle? He does 2-cycle. That's a little thing that AIs will 2-cycle way more often than they will 1-cycle, and because you only have 1 inspect to do with the statue, it would make most sense for a spy to 1-cycle in that situation. But Kaylee doesn't. Does get real cuddly with his ST, though, and picks up a highlight for it.
Yeah, the 2-cycle thing is one of those little tiny things that increases your chances of winning by 1, maybe 2%, but the good spies know to do them, and you string a few of those together, and it can really add up.
But look at this. We've got 1 completion, 68% on the flirt. There's the fingerprint coming off on the drink take. If he can find the last flirt here and then get to 1 more statue without dying, that's the game. Problem is, he only has 20 seconds to do it.
This isn't looking very good. The only thing that might happen here that derails him is if the AI, if the party helps him again.
There's the flirt. It's going to be overtime.
Oh, he's not going to want to go to an inspect with less than 10 seconds.
That's a death trap.
Instead.
He wants the bug.
He's running all over the place.
He wants it. He gets it. The shot comes off.
No.
KCM was paying too much attention on who to shoot when overtime happens and not enough attention to Crazy Kaylee, who manages to slip a spy win on the table and put himself up by 3.
Not only that, take a quick look at the replay before the next game starts. I'm not going to say the party was really helping exactly, but as he's rotating, that's when the bug takes place, and just then, one of his highlights is at a second statue visit. Oh, brutal.
If
He would chase that. He chased that Amba shamelessly, but it was just at the right point in the rotation.
Yeah, if you looked at the log, the bug came off with 0.1 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's brutal. KCM had that in the bag, and now he's really up against the wall. He's given away all those gains he worked so hard for. Fake right into Purloin. Oh, it's a white.
Starting things off with the fake.
He's seen it. I think he's just seeing it now.
Yeah, I think he is, but I think he knows he's only been the one person who's taken. There's an actual real BB coming off.
I don't know, man.
I think maybe KCM got that off clean, actually.
Away with a clean white Purloin, but if it's because Kaylee was thinking, wow, he gave me so many lowlights potentially there with so much going on. I'm just focusing on getting those. I really think KCM might have got away with this, and now if he's smart, he can easily leverage this into a spy win, unless he's a huge suspect and Kaylee is just putting on a show for the log.
Well, all we need is a flirt, which the selection target's not exactly being kind. And then we could even pick up a soft tell on the second one. Either the inspect or the fingerprint would both be available.
Yeah, I don't know what I do if I'm KCM here. Do you really want to get away with that? You're not sure if you got away with it, by the way. Are you trying to force a shot or are you trying to finish? He wants to leave himself an option, so he's at least going to flirt because that's pretty low risk. But does he really want to go to statues twice? Or fingerprint?
Well, we shall see. Not able to get close enough to get the flirt he was looking for, but on a green test, 43% is nothing to scoff at.
You need, if you're KCM, you really need the party to help you out and send a person to statues for a second time who isn't already low lit. Because with the Purloin there, with the BB there, it's going to be so hard for him not to shoot.
Yeah, party, stop playing favorites. Give KCM a chance too.
It would be a very big, impressive win. If you're KCM, I just can't imagine you're planning on going to inspect now. I think maybe he's thinking flirt, swap. Hope it's a green, and hope in the chaos you get away with it.
Well, only time will tell. 1 minute to play. That was a thing. I have never seen any Mr. It's fine. Don't worry.
Totally on the other side.
It wasn't on camera. It was fine.
It is the swap.
Not a problem. The swap has come off.
And what does Kaylee think it was? Does he think it was a green or a white? He hasn't shot yet. I think he's thinking about it.
He's certainly considering. I think.
Oh, the flirt.
I think if Kaylee talk there, he was dead, but wasn't able to pick up the flirt he needed. Now with only 15 seconds left to play, this is gonna be another overtime.
I think he's gonna get shot. This is brutal.
Yeah. Penguin back in the statues, though. He might have gotten the help he needed. It's going to be overtime, but I think he's got the wrong shot. And he does have the wrong shot. KCM managing to keep the deficit to 2.
Got him just a little bit that game. It wasn't that much. The party didn't do anything particularly crazy to give him that win. He put himself in a position where he just needed a little bit of luck. A statue visitor highlight late in the game or something to cover up that talk, and it did. And it is another hardtail. That's 2 spy wins against Kaylee with hardtails, and 1 game where he got a hardtail by him and didn't win.
I should point out two hardtails that got by, a swap and a Purloin.
Hardtails that 2 games with hardtails. Okay, they're asking for the score again.
It is 9-7 in favor of Kaylee.
Yes. Yes, that is big. So if you're KCM, forget the score for a second. Hasn't this worked? He's won 2 spy games with hardtails. He won a balcony game. He had another game where he got a hardtail by him and could have won, but didn't quite. The only thing that hasn't worked, KCM has broken the ridiculous dominance we talked about on the sniper side. The only problem is he's given away so many games on the other side.
Keep in mind, Crazy Kaylee, the only player he didn't win against in the regular season is KCM. He drew him twice, but could never edge him out.
one of those, if I remember correctly, there might have been, I'm trying to think, either one or no spy wins. It was basically a sniper battle. That's the one we cast, Tobo. And you remember we talked about how it wasn't just sniper wins either. It was incredible sniper wins, like on the ball, like green purloin, 3 rejects, and still an instant shot of the spy. Things like that. It was an incredibly well-played game. It wasn't just sniper wins. It was good sniper wins. So we are not seeing that today at all. KCM has absolutely broken his stranglehold with those sniper games. He's just also given away so many on the other side.
But we are back into the balcony once more as Crazy Kaylee picks up the spy side. KCM on the sniper. The 2 picked are the ones you'd expect. It's going to be Contact and Seduce with Fingerprint on the board, but not chosen. And Kaylee is no controlling.
Really interesting. This seems like the opposite of the aggressive spy play, but it's not. Because the philosophy behind both is... there it is. The philosophy... I don't know if it matters much. The philosophy behind both is exactly the same. It's take a chance. It's hard to win spy games anyway.
Yeah.
Aggressive, not in the sense of activity. It's aggressive in the sense of betting it all on one move, like a white swap in the middle of the game.
Absolutely. And now that there's 1 minute past, he's taken control, waiting for the conversation to fill up, waiting for this banana bread. This is beautiful play from Crazy Kaylee. The BB comes off! It was a strange one, to be sure.
Of conversation low lit anyway, but did not wait for it to fill up. And look at KCM. He's actually not buying it. He is not shot. There's 35 seconds left. This is interesting, but Yellow Jacket...
If Banana Man re-enters and talks, he's gonna get shot, but he has to talk.
What Kaylee's counting on. This is going to be big right here. It's just going to be so hard for him not to shoot if this happens.
Here he goes. He steps back in again.
This is rough. Let's see what happens.
3 seconds.
We're all staring at
1 second.
We're all staring at some code.
It doesn't happen.
If it fires. It didn't happen within 10 seconds, so there's not going to be overtime. As long as she doesn't get shot, it's going to be a timeout.
It was a brilliant idea from Crazy Kaylee, but it didn't quite work out. Oh, it was so close, though.
Yeah, and the big moment, of course, was the 10-second threshold, because if it happens after that, maybe 9 seconds is too close. If it happens at 8 or 7, then he's just going to wait for the overtime, which obviously is not going to happen. So Kaylee takes a shot, doesn't win, and KCM, how many times have we said it? 1 spy win on balcony, a spy win on balcony, away from tying the championship. This is so doable. After all that's happened, after all the crazy AI stuff, after the move that didn't work, even though it was brilliant, after all those games he gave away, after all the party luck, he still has a chance to tie it after all that. Oh, and look at this. We talked earlier about how KCM got busted for the window flirt. Why doesn't the AI window flirt? They might have just then, from Kaylee's perspective.
They might have.
Line is on.
Yeah, Purloin is on instead of Seduce. Oh my god. He doesn't know that. There's no way he thinks Purloin is going to be one of the missions.
But he has to still guard it, right? He's still Crazy Kaylee.
Probably. He's got to hope for a reject chain. There's no other way.
Yeah,
I think he might have overthought this a little bit. He's not really doing anything right now. He's just going to try. Maybe he's going to try to earn a low light. But here's the thing. With Purloin on, I don't think you would low light.
Yeah.
It feels like you wouldn't want to. You just want to play as straight as possible. No chances.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd be pretty darn confident. KCM pulling out all the stops, though. Anything out of the ordinary, anything to throw Kaylee off his game, I guess, is the idea. But here's the thing. Let's say that's your plan going into this. I totally understand. Do some unorthodox things. Throw him off his game when he's winning that many. But you don't have to. What you've been doing has already been working.
That was a fast handoff by KCM and a fast leave afterwards, but Crazy Kaylee, I don't think the type of person to catch that on his pad. He's caught him on that a couple of times. Doesn't look like this was one of them.
Oh, he wouldn't necessarily highlight for it. He's got a BB soon. That's brutal. KCM's been fishing for a moment.
It's a green Purloin. The BB comes off.
That was so well.
It's a low light. It's a low light is taken.
Who's it going to be?
There it is! There's the shot! Kaylee knows! Kaylee knows, and it is 10-8.
Okay, so look at this, though. KCM was planning that the whole game. It wasn't just that he was planning a purloin.
Yes.
I don't just mean a purloin, though. I mean literally he wanted to talk, because he talked when he entered, right? He's not trying to flirt. There's no reason to talk except to draw attention to yourself.
Right.
He talked, green BB at the end, and his logic was that if Kaylee's paying attention, he's going to think, did he really green at the end of his talk? Did he bet his whole game on one green test? He did bet his whole game on one green test, but Kaylee still shot for it.
Note
I think that plan was played to perfection by KCM, but it's not the plan you want to use against Crazy Kaylee.
Like, he definitely tried to frame, because he would like, I don't know if you were watching the log, but he would request a drink, and as soon as the person who was being offered took, he would cancel that request. So he definitely wanted a reject chain going into it. But anyway, on to the next one.
Crazy Kaylee on gallery this time, and he 4 of 8 with red microfilm in pocket to start out the festivities.
Oh, there really is no more margin. KCM can't get away spy games to Kaylee. He can't let Kaylee win a spy. Maybe literally, technically it's not the end of the match, but at this point, that's what's happened. You actually won a few spy games. You could have won more. Your spy game is pretty solid so far. I'm very impressed by KCM shattering that stranglehold, really, to mix metaphors, because I just can't use words strong enough to describe how impressive some of this is. But you just can't give it away on the sniper side anymore.
Kaylee highlight for 3 at a bookcase despite not being the third there.
That's the thing, right? If you don't see what order they arrive in, you got to do all of them.
Yeah.
Yep, 3 at
One of them
bookcase,
was an
definitely
SDA,
real.
so there was only 2 highlights to grab off of it.
I really think that that talk into Green BB was underrated. If someone is paying a lot of attention on balcony, and it usually are because it's balcony, they're going to notice that it had to be a Green BB. And that someone was
microfilm transfer at a painting. It was on camera, but only barely because of KCM's zoom, and Crazy Kaylee's gotten away with this super clean.
Yeah, and he gets bumped back
and
down.
loses the highlight for it too.
I don't actually think he's in great shape here. There's 143 left. He hasn't done any flirts, and flirt is notoriously hard here.
This is certainly going to be an incredibly difficult mission win for Crazy Kaylee, especially considering he's locked into at least a 3 flirt with 34 off the first one. BB coming off here, lots of movement. We've got 1, 2, and a bunch of highlights. But only 2 lowlights. I think there were more on the board. There's a third one. Green purloin, but we still need 1 more mission. If we can get this timer flirt...
It's going to be... Nah, it's the purloin. It's just either KCM catches the purloin or he doesn't. That's the game, and here it is. Here it is.
Here's the purloin. There it is. And the shot comes off as well. KCM needed that game, and he got it.
Good game. Kaylee played a strong spy game. It wasn't like the other ones where we saw, I don't want to say the word mindless exactly, but aggression for its own sake, right? Aggression is a general strategy, which is not a bad strategy. A lot of those other games were just aggression. This was aggressive, but it was smart and it was calculated. And I thought Kaylee actually played one of his better spy games there.
I agree.
But that just shows you that it really is whether or not you win these games depends on whether or not the sniper is on their game. That's what determines it more often. The sniper controls it. And in that case, KCM absolutely on his game.
Indeed, and now he's on his spy game as Crazy Kaylee picks up the rifle. That was a bug. Yeah, that was that was the thing that happened. He didn't want the wrong arm bug there. He had a good cross, he had a good angle at it, but hit the wrong arm bug, waving at Kaylee, and took the bullet for it.
Playing the Kaylee game now. He's being aggressive, and he's saying, if I get away with it, I win. And if I don't, maybe I was going to lose anyway. But I just don't think you want to make it that easy on them is all.
How much do you think Kaylee is relying on his sniper play this match? I think Kaylee always relies very heavily on his sniper play and plays aggressive as spy because he only needs a couple on the spy side. He doesn't need much if his sniper game is as on point as he knows he can make it. That's what his game plan always is when you're Crazy Kaylee.
He's good, but in this match, he turns out he needed several. And the thing is, he's gotten them. He's gotten them because there were a couple games we talked about it where KCM had it narrowed down to like a green swapper or a white swapper, had it down to a coin flip and still loses it.
And now it's Courtyard 2 any 3 of 5. KCM has been pushing Crazy Kaylee to the brink, but Kaylee has held on so far. Oh, and he just gets shot for a bug. That's okay.
Kaylee returning the favor, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Eye for an eye. The unfortunate bug win goes one way. The unfortunate bug win gets given right back.
It looks bad because he's zoomed in and looking from the side, but keep in mind, if he were at his usual perch, he'd have the first conversation. Those two tall characters blocking him. It wouldn't have been that bad. I understand the decision. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the rotation was good. It's just it barely didn't come off in time. If that had been a split second earlier, it would have been a good bug for Crazy Kaylee, but KCM barely getting there.
KCM
now on the spy roll.
Win this, or you have to win the next two just to force overtime.
This is a terrifying position for KCM, but he has been here time and again. KCM knows how to deal with this kind of pressure, and starting with a close green flirt for 51% is exactly how you do it.
And I like, by the way, the idea of just being aggressive with the flirt early on. It's double modern. It's not regular modern. It's not balcony. You can be pretty aggressive with these.
Exactly. And here's 1, 2 low lights on the banana bread. One of which I believe is for a drink take.
I'm going to say that's solid, yeah. Although that is, once again, betting on the green. It's a surprise. It didn't work before. You can green into it. The problem is if you interrupt that drink take, the game's probably over.
2 flirt for KCM. What's it going to be? Fingerprint, purloin, or bug? Probably bug if you can get it off.
This is what you want, by the way. You get your first 2 missions done relatively clean, and you have a minute and a half to just decide, oh, it's a red purloin.
It's red! It's red! It's blinking! It's blinky! It's blinky! The spy game has been so good up until now, and then it's just 3 that's just going in weird directions. And now Crazy Kaylee is on the threshold. We're guaranteed at least an overtime. And if Kaylee can find the win on one of these next 2, the match is his.
This is it. KCM needs 2. Now he's on a pretty... he's the nice thing is he's... oh, boy.
He's on a good sniper streak.
Yeah, there is that.
It's been helped a little bit by KCM on a couple of these, but it's gonna be tight no matter what happens. And we are going to be ending off, quite possibly, on Ballroom any 4 of 8. This is the oldest map in the book, although hitting pretty hard with the pretty stick. We'll see if Crazy Kaylee's able to make it happen.
The first map. This is coming full circle. This is the championship. It needs 2 wins. It's a white microfilm right off the bat, but a zoom in by KCM does not see it.
Good start from Crazy Kaylee, because that is the hard bookcase to get the microfilm on. Fake BB coming off the top, interestingly enough. That's a lot of lowlights, too. I think that was 5? Couple highlights in there as well. Lots of activity off of the first one. Second one comes off. There's another 2 lowlights.
Those are some pretty solid lowlights. Look at the party from the sniper side if you get a chance. KCM has really got this narrowed down, and Kaylee, even though he got away with half the microfilm there and has half his flirt done, I don't know if he's in the lead. I really don't.
It seems like a strong start, but so many lowlights coming off. KCM has put himself in a surprisingly strong position here.
Happened earlier with the purloin. Even if it's not sure, even if he didn't catch it necessarily, if you can just whittle it down enough, it's actually pretty easy to pick the spy out late in one of these games if they're trying to finish missions and you don't only have maybe say 4 or 5 people to look at. It's just not that hard. And he's marked for that fingerprint.
Doesn't hit the difficult fingerprint and gets highlight for trying.
That's rough. And KCM, and that's the kind of thing you can do when you only have to watch a few people, is you can zoom in on fingerprints and pay a lot of attention to them. He's going to try to do it again here, but I don't think KCM's watching fingerprint that closely, though. I don't think he's going to get shot.
Crazy Kaylee, it's the same bookcase he's already been to. This is going to be a hard game for Crazy Kaylee to win, although that flirt that was gifted to him on a silver platter will help.
Still going to have to do something. Oh, watch check. It's a white time ad. Let's see if he notices. He might have. He might not have. He might just not be positive.
It's possible. It doesn't look like he caught it to me, but it's hard to tell with KCM.
I'm not sure if Kaylee went through a full cycle. He might have gone more than a full cycle before the ambassador joined. Hard to say, but it's close enough that. And good, because KCM is watching it very closely right now, or has been throughout the game at least.
Absolutely. 1 minute and 35 on the clock. Only one completion so far. But he's almost done with his fingerprint. He's almost done his seduce. He's almost done his microfilm, which he's looking to finish up right now. Gets the fingerprint at the same time. Can he land this? It's white. No, he cannot. And KCM stays alive for now. One more game. Crazy Kaylee on the sniper, KCM on the spy. If KCM can win this, we're going to overtime.
I'm losing it. I'm nervous for these guys, and I'm just watching. Can you imagine actually playing this right now?
No, quite frankly, no, I cannot.
Imagine it. It's not a pleasant thing to imagine. Even if you play a casual game of SpyParty, this is something everyone will understand. If you play a casual game of SpyParty and you're the spy, and that laser passes over you after you've done something, your heart skips a beat. In a game with no stakes, maybe you're joking around on TeamSpeak, you're having fun, whatever. Now imagine that in a competitive setting. Imagine that in a final. Imagine that in the Diamond Final in a game you have to win against a sniper with the best SCL win rate in the world. That's what KCM has to do right here.
And here we go. KCM with what may well be the biggest spy game of his season. Starts things off slow.
Spy game of his career. If for lack of a better word in an esports game, this might be the biggest game of SpyParty he's ever played. Any more strats? I think he might have exhausted his crazy strats for the day. He had two very interesting spy games. Can't imagine. Oh, look at all this occlusion with the microfilm. No, not going to do it.
Away with the blue book. There was so much going on there for a second in that little corner.
But sometimes that's the reason not to do it, right? I mean, Kaylee said, for example, he'll auto-highlight people at Red Bookshelf on Gallery because it's so hard to see. Might be the same kind of thing here. Because there's so much occlusion, it's a perfect opportunity for the spy.
Absolutely, KCM wants the bug, but is bullied out of the way!
I don't think Kaylee saw it, though. I think it's actually not going to hurt him. Ooh, there's a highlight. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe he did. Maybe he has an inkling.
Brutal. Now, if you're Kaylee, though...
rough.
That's so rough. I don't think he's a huge suspect, though. The problem is he's going to have to keep doing stuff. You can't bet on a shot on this one.
He doesn't have any flirts yet. He doesn't have any progress yet. He's got blue in hand, just now getting his first flirt for 31, which means he's going to need a green on one of the other two. 2 minutes left to play. This is not looking good for KCM.
Still enough time, but he's got to start making progress. You need to at least get another flirt in. He's trying to do it now. Walks by the...
There's the bug he wanted the first time.
Oh, bumping into Slim. I don't know about that. I don't see how he's going to get away with something like a BB when all this is over, let alone that book.
White test on the second flirt. Minute and 35 to play. BB comes off.
Two highlights knocked out. That's brutal.
It's still possible, but KCM is not in a good position here. Crazy Kaylee has him highlight, possibly quite strongly, for 2 bug attempts now, one of which took.
He's going to wait, timer flirt. He needs to green it and get to that bookcase, and that bookcase, that's the moment. ST leaves.
This has to be a green test.
It's really
not!
hurts.
She's not in convo! She's taking the briefcase. She's not in conversation. KCM
now he's going to do the book now.
This is it.
This is probably it. This is probably it for the whole of the
The
marbles.
shot comes off, and Crazy Kaylee, for a third season in a row, is your Spy Party Competitive League champion.
That is so rough. KCM, I think, played a very good game there at the end. That first bug just hurt him, but I still think he had a chance. He just had to chase around so much. I understand the decision to grab the book, do a whole bunch of other missions, and then dump it at the end, but I just feel like there's so often that doesn't work.
Oh man, oh man. Like, look at how this set played out. It was balcony that made the difference, and it made it in Crazy Kaylee's favor. He was able to start off 4-1 on the balcony, and he just split everything all the way to victory.
That's what's brutal about this. And so we were talking about individual games. This game went very well for one player or the other, usually Kaylee with the party. It wasn't clear if that was going to matter. In a 13-11 game, every single one of those games was crucially important. You could even go back to that very first balcony game where the ST sidled up to him, then left, came back, hung around. That alone could have been the difference. Now, let me remind you, Tobo, we made our little predictions right before this started. The players are coming in right now, so we'll be talking to them in just a second. Tobo, you and I talked a little bit briefly before this, just made some private predictions. Do you remember what we both predicted would happen?
Kaylee wins just barely. And man, oh man, do we get it.
Oh, and speaking of Kaylee and KCM, they're both here to say hi to us.
You know, you wonder what to ask at times like this. I think I should probably just ask both of you how you feel.
I feel
shit. I'm exhausted.
I feel drained. I feel like I don't even feel happy right now. Like I feel like so much stress. Oh my god!
You can't play.
KCM is so hard to play against. I don't.
Every other game is so awful because you can't drop a game as sniper at all. And and then the spy games are just like hell because they're unwinnable.
Well, and like, here's the thing: the party was being so unkind to you, KCM, for so long.
I don't know. I felt like I honestly felt that it was my fault that my spy game that I didn't win enough spy games here. I felt like maybe I could have played a few of those games a little bit smarter. I wanted to do a lot of rushes and. Towards the end, I think I found my rhythm, but it just wasn't fast enough. You know, at that point, Kaylee only needs like 3 wins, you know, with sniper. But
I think we both overrushed probably this map. I think like we were both overvaluing rushes against each other. I think because I tried a few against you and just got killed like immediately.
Yeah, I actually
I was really feeling good about that one veranda one. Then I was like, oh, that last book cheese just did not go through.
I think I suspected the purloin.
Yeah, you were on top.
But I was pretty sure of you.
Every time I was feeling like hot shit in that match, basically, I looked at the log and I was like, I'm not hot shit.
I think on one of your Courtyard 2 games, I highlight you in the first like 2 seconds for like a bad entry, and then you PP'd. It was great.
Yeah.
So
good times.
One thing.
Well, and this is how everyone feels in SCL, but against Kaylee in particular, against Diamond in particular, that you feel like you can't give away any of those sniper games because they're not going to give away any, but you actually won several. And you won them. You got hardtails by him. You won 2 different games where you got hardtails by him, and one of them it was 2 hardtails. There's another game where you got a bug by him, didn't win, but that's at least 3 instances of something that, as Wodar pointed out, we're pretty sure has actually not happened in the SCL this season against Kaylee. We think all of his sniper losses have come against Softail variants. So, from our perspective, the spy side actually broke that stranglehold.
He only had, I think, 1 or 2 sniper losses.
Yeah.
So we can pull it up.
Loss against me, and then 1 against Magician, I believe.
Yeah, we can pull it up. We actually compiled some stats.
You failed to win those spy games. You absolutely did what nobody else has been able to do all year. It was just a few of the sniper games were given away on the other side.
Yeah. It was tough. Like, there were definitely some spy wins there, but like, if anyone. And like, there was one where I think he did like Purloin and Swap or something. And I mean, if anyone can do that, it's going to be KCM. KCM knows how to get that stuff by. And like KCM knows like that you can't just fall for the trap of just going for the soft tells over and over again too. Like he knows that he needs to get hard tells by, occasionally knows how to do it. So it was good games.
A lot of people think that you're weak on soft tells, but I know that you're not weak on soft tells, just your way of like managing them is different, and it still requires that you do hard tells to win.
Yeah.
Not that I was able to win, but if I refuse to do hardtails against you, then you don't need to guard them, and then you win for free.
Yeah, that's the trap. That's the trap.
I have
for sure.
to. I absolutely have to still like pressure those hardtails and make you play that game. I was. This is like the first time I played you where I played with 0 respect on Seduce, and I want to say it was pretty successful.
Yeah,
I think except on like I mean I did my normal like on balcony I'm gonna track flirts, but
Right.
like other than that, yeah, you just I think you did. I don't think I ever remember. I think I remember seeing some weird paths that I thought were a little awkward. Like in that last one, I thought there were some bad bug paths. And
that last one was tough though. The AI like pushed me away from a bug like really hard, and I didn't overcommit, so I didn't die for it, but it sucked. Yeah, and there were a few times where I neglected some pathing things that I would probably respect with other players.
Yeah, pathing I think is the thing I've improved the most recently, like spotting bad pathing. Like I remember, I think it was last season, Bacon did like a here's how you beat Kaylee or it's a stream or something like that, or here's like things like, and I look like just night and day with like the pathing knowledge. Like Bacon and Youth too, I believe, like have had way more pathing knowledge than I did. So I tried to like learn a little bit of it and get a little bit into it. And it's been paying off a little bit because people like don't really give me any credit for it. So sometimes, not that you like did any overtly bad paths during that, but like sometimes there are like path things that I notice now where I can at least get lowlights. Like I start humbled by getting lowlights.
You mentioned falling for traps. KCM, how long have you had that move? And I don't even have to tell you which I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I actually remember, and I could tell you how I came up with it.
Yes,
oh
please.
God.
Yeah, I came up with that the Friday before I fought Bloom because I like came home from Evo, was really tired, and I was like, well, shit, I got to play, probably the second best player in SpyParty, like, tomorrow or whatever. So I practiced, and I don't know, maybe just some combination of having played like fighting games, like a different genre all day, kind of, had me thinking a little bit differently. But I came up with that right before Bloom, and I decided right then and there that I was going to use it against Kaylee because it's like a one and done kind of thing, and once the community knows about it, it'll never work again. So use it to win a championship match. I was going to give it to Bloom if he beat me, but he didn't. So, but it doesn't matter because Kaylee didn't fall for it, and I just kind of looked stupid, I thought.
No. It was genius. It was genius. So I have to tell this story.
I'm heartbroken because it requires a green action test, and I was like, if I get a green there, I was going into this, so I thought it's a guaranteed win if I get a green test, provided you've not seen it before.
So here's what happens in my brain. The instant I start hearing boop, 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 boop. So first of all, I'm like, oh God, overtime. And then I'm like, wait a second, it sounds slightly wrong. And then I think
I was nervous and I rushed the rhythm, but I played it pretty consistently. And after like 10 seconds, I decided you weren't going to shoot, and I was like, maybe I can get.
I was just like, shit, I don't know lowlights. But here's the extreme bad luck that I didn't have the time to tell you during the match. So I've been for the past week or so spending a lot of my time doing review of games because I got to play KCM. And I've been reviewing a lot of my own games. And there's a game I want to say, I think it was from like a month or two ago, 3 months. I don't remember now. But I was playing like a 12-12, whose name I should really go find now because I like owe them a beer or something. But like they didn't do any missions and they just started spamming like time ads at the end. And they didn't know how to do action tests. And so there was...
For real.
There was like a they didn't do like the full boop, 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 but there was like a do, and I was like, what the hell is that?
You taught yourself that like I should check the words for overtime. Like
I didn't consciously think that at the time, but like at the instant, like I thought, the timing doesn't seem right. There was like a link back to that, and I was like, I don't know if that's what's going on, but like I'm not gonna shoot because I don't see overtime. I'm just gonna get lowlights, and if he beat me with this, then he deserves it.
That is kind of I knew as I did it, I was like, oh shit, I fucked it. But I decided to keep it at that rhythm because I had to be, right? You'd notice it slowing down. And I was like, I have to do it for around 10 seconds because Kaylee might hear overtime and assume he has 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
After about 8 or 10 seconds, I think I was like, fuck it. And
it was like after the first few seconds, it was really convincing. Like I was like, this makes no sense. Where's my overtime thing? I was like, I just don't panic. Don't
Yeah,
panic.
you're
Get
smart,
low
man.
lights.
I mean, hell, you fooled us. Like, it took us a
Briefly,
good
yeah.
figure
So,
out what
man.
was going
I mean,
on,
that's
and
the
it
idea,
didn't
is that
take long.
hopefully Kaylee has his trigger open, right, and he's ready to shoot on overtime, and he hears like beep beep beep, and he shoots.
Yeah.
If that's the game that I think it was, I was really convinced no one was done that game, which is part of what helped you.
Yeah, it was like
the party did
really
nothing.
So
Yeah.
That
gay.
sucks because I had a good DB.
The party did like nothing on Veranda. Like I think one person visited statues that whole game.
You wait until you see the VOD. You're gonna hear my jaw hang open where I say I can't remember the last time I saw a Veranda game where it took this long for literally the first person to visit statues. We noticed early on that KCM was committed to not finishing that game. We thought it was just a simple slow play or a simple frame. We didn't realize what he had in mind at the end of the game. But we did notice that if he was slow playing, the party was totally unaccommodating, which is kind of one of the things we were thinking of when we said earlier that the party seemed so unkind. KCM, you absolutely, unfortunately, picked the worst possible AI game for that.
I also messed up a bit. Like, I was really nervous at the start of the game. After I lost that game, I immediately felt better, Yeah. But all of the games leading up to it, I felt kind of nervous, and I should have pulled Toby to the other side because he decided to offer me a purloin and screw the whole thing up. And yeah, I guess maybe if I'm going to try this again, I don't know who I'm going to try it on. It's dead now, right? But I guess
I joked to Tobo.
I should have watched the party, and about the 2-minute mark, I can probably say, well, the party's been good, or I need to rush and actually do missions because it won't work.
I don't know. I know you said you think it's a one and done, but if it doesn't happen often,
right. It could still throw some people off.
It
could throw some people off, but it doesn't need to be fixed, in my opinion. It is very beatable. The game does not say, overtime, so if you don't see overtime, don't shoot.
I think it's a totally fair strategy. I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, I did joke to Tobo. I said, well, someone can wait about a year, and then they can definitely bust it out again.
I mean, it is ironic that it was practically a 0-0 that kind of ruined it for me, because this is the sort of thing that a 0-0 would discover. I was doing some really weird things in practice mode when I came up with it. So
yeah,
it's fair though, because you think that's the benefit you get for mentoring after all this time, I guess.
I just remember when KCM, so I knew it was coming because KCM had told me about it. So I was just so as soon as I saw him slow playing that, I'm like, oh yes, here we go. Because I remember KCM sent me the replay. He's
I'm gonna clean one up and make a really good one and post it on and say can you beat this replay? And anybody who hasn't seen this can say, yeah, I beat it or not. It'll be fun to.
Yeah,
I say we put that into the curated
sniper
replays.
That in for the newbies.
Just by itself.
It's just so bad against. It's so bad against anybody who hasn't played a couple thousand games, because it will never work against, low-level players.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It requires a high-level mentality. You have to know all of the properties of overtime, which are too complex.
Right. How many people go into overtime? So many snipers, once they've played a couple hundred games, they look at the clock and they're like, okay, there's 5 seconds left. What's my overtime shot? And then like you said, as soon as that beeping starts, it's so instinctive, just shift click. Yeah, man.
What is this picture? Oh, right, that's the picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Before we started, we had the tail of the tape between you two that we were talking about while you were drafting. I put KCM's up now. Oh, if you look at the stream,
text on the bottom is incorrect. I have not won every SpyParty. Oh my god, that picture of KCM though.
Isn't that such a great? That's such a good pic of KCM. Go pull up the stream. It's such a good picture of you.
Now, I think, KCM, you posed for that the end of the tournament with scientists.
The one with the book?
Yeah, the one with the book.
Yeah, I'm partial to that one. I'll give you guys a new one with a different mission if you want.
Make the finals again, and we will.
I did lose a SpyParty Cup. I lost the second season of Summer Cup, I think it was. I failed to even qualify for the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I have not won every SpyParty competition I've ever.
Yeah, I was looking through things and I couldn't find anything that any evidence that you had lost something. Mind you, I'm terrible at looking through the forums. So I just asked a couple people
of anything,
if they could find otherwise, and didn't hear anything back, so it stayed in there.
Oh,
Okay, I've got friends waiting in the other room. Hi, Marina and Jess and Rob. I'm not going to leave yet, but if there are questions or anything, let's ask.
There was actually something we were speculating about while I have you here. So we were talking about your sniper win rate on this. Oh God, hold on, my resolution
Is absurd.
is absurd. So now I'm actually curious, but it's so hard to use. I was gonna query to see what sniper games you had lost in the season because you're not perfect. And now, of course, I'm running at 720p, so I can't actually query.
It was a game of
I
balcony
remember I
against
lost
me.
one to KCM for sure.
And it was a game of balcony against me in our. Was it the first time we met? I don't remember. And then one was against Magician.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nope.
which I thought was really nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big win for Magician, like taking a spy win. And I thought it was on like Courtyard 2, but I might be wrong.
It was like I remember. I thought he beat me on a hardtail map, or maybe
it was like a 4 of 7,
or like a you have to do fingerprint and da map. Yeah, like Courtyard 2 4-7 would make sense.
Yeah, 4 of 7 or like a big map like Veranda maybe.
All right. Well, I think that brings our cast to the end. Congratulations, Kaylee. KCM, you gave him one hell of a run. Like that was
no kidding.
one hell of a match to watch. Do you two want to plug anything? Like Kaylee, I know you stream. KCM, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, I stream twitch.tv/my name. That's all.
Yep. Crazy with a K, Kaylee with a C. KCM, you got anything you want to point out?
Yeah, you can follow Crazy Kaylee at Crazy Kaylee.
You should stream more, Casey. I want to say I like KCM since I joined SpyParty has probably been the player whose skills and whose dedication to the game I've respected the most. Like him coming at it with like the tech today was like absolutely in character. Like I love the way you approach the game, KCM. It inspires me a lot. You are awesome, and I love you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It means a lot to me. I'm really happy you won. I mean, it hurts. I'm a little sore, but I'm happy you won. I think you're like the person who represents SpyParty the best. Or
that might not be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is getting to this point where we got to take you down. I mean, I couldn't have even attempted that tech if I hadn't had Bacon and Steph help me come up with it in the first place. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of people tested it out as well, and I appreciate them. Like,
I love it.
To themselves.
So. I did not expect it. I just had my random like game against an inexperienced player. I was like, oh, that was kind of a weird thing that happened at the end of that game.
I mean, actually, that's the reason that I chose to do balcony before Veranda.
Got it.
Because I hadn't had a chance to like warm up. I just kind of got home and showered. Not that I didn't feel like I'd be good going in, but that's the kind of thing you don't want to do in your first game.
Yeah.
But balcony is also a terrible map to play on your first map.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I wanted to say like I don't tilt very easily, but if like that's kind of like one of my SpyParty strengths is like keep a pretty level head.
You didn't tilt here either. You didn't tilt there either. In fact, I tilted afterwards because I coughed.
Well, but I was saying if you had beat me with that in the first game, that might have tilted
on your map. Yeah,
I've been like, oh my god, what is happening to me? How much tech does he have up his sleeve that he's doing that in the first game?
I had another idea on pub, which I tried on you twice in the regular season, but it just requires.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I want to.
You banned pub, so I just kind of.
Yeah, no, I'm done with pub and high rise. I do so crappily on them.
Kaylee, you're breaking me here.
I do have one more question. For Kaylee. Well, this is actually for both of you in a way. We were speculating earlier. How do you break the stranglehold on the sniper side? It happened, but not the way we expected. But our speculation was maybe you try something like fingerprint, sort of a half soft tail kind of mission. And we wondered if Casey was going to try to do that. He did go for it several times. Kaylee, on the other hand, seemed to be watching for it very closely. Was that deliberate?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted. But
No. That's a question for both of you. I want to know if that was your plan and if Kaylee was ready for it, knowing that might be a potential point of weakness.
There was actually a game where Kaylee hit me with that, where he did a half soft tail on it was Courtyard 1. He inspected one statue, and he ended up like crashing a bug at the end, which I totally missed. And I shot like somebody in overtime who had been to statues.
Yeah, that was
Courtyard low light though, so they might, like in hindsight, they might have been out during BB.
I think you hit me back immediately with a last minute mission completion, and I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah,
you shot Buck Swaggle.
That's right. I thought he was done with Inspect or something.
Yep.
Oh, I won Courtyard 1 as spy. 2 spy wins on Courtyard 1?
No, you won. I think that was Courtyard 2. Or no, it was Courtyard 1. No, that's right. Because you swapped at the end at this, I don't remember what happened, but yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah, there was a late swap, and it was like 2 people, and right as you were doing the last thing, Buckswaggle walks up to a statue and picks it up.
Nice.
That was the BB into White Purloin at the beginning of the game, which Kaylee missed, and then needed the second hardtail.
I had also only done like 1 softail. Like I went to 1 statue.
You did 2 hardtails that game, yeah.
One of the strengths, especially if you can pick up a statue and put it down, is that after the sniper sees the swap, they assume the inspect is done. And that's like a really powerful effect if you can just rush a swap and get out of there and not waste 3 seconds on an inspect if you're not going to finish them, I think he saw me there though.
On Courtyard 1?
Yeah.
I saw you at this highlight. I saw you is that the one where I shot Buckswaggle?
Yeah.
I saw you at the statue, but I completely, the swap went right over my head until Buckswaggle picked up the statue after you.
Gotcha.
And then I thought it might be white or green, and then I highlight you and Buckswaggle, and then Buckswaggle was at statues, and I shot him.
Sweet. To be fair, I did pick up and swap quickly after another character, so it could have been green there as well.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it. Like, you just got it clean by me until Buckswaggle picks it up, and I remembered you were the last one there.
Yeah.
Casey, you mentioned that crash bug in the previous game. You don't know how bad it was. Again, we kept talking about the party because, as it so happened, someone else was sort of walking by, I think going to statues right when he did the last second sort of desperation bug, and it aligned perfectly with your rotation, so it was partially hidden by the statue in the center of the map too. That was a game where actually Kaylee was pretty clearly behind almost the entire game, but that happened at exactly the right moment and got him another crucial spy win.
Luck's a big part of the game, for sure.
Yeah, I don't mind losing a game to a bug I've missed. I mean, I've lost games to bugs I should have seen, so, Kaylee getting a little lucky on a bug really isn't enough to, I think, tilt the match in his favor. He had a strong game if he didn't die before that.
I didn't always get wins out of it, although I improved my positioning pretty well off of it often, I think. But the first half of the match, I feel like the AIs just love the hell out of me as spy.
Yeah.
Like Ambas were coming to me, STs were coming to me, DAs were coming to me. It was real good times. Like the first half. Then in the last half, like especially that last spy game I played, my ST was just hated me. But like the first half, I was really feeling the AI love. But that's luck. You got to make the most of it when it comes to you.
It's about opportunism as much as anything.
Very good games.
Very good games, my friend.
Strong spy games. Yeah.
Thanks a ton for coming in here to chat with us.
Always happy to do it. Thanks for casting, guys. And
good cast. I'm looking
forward to season 4. I'll see you guys later. Adios.
Yep.
Have a great night.
Take care.
All right, guys. Congratulations.
All right. So that brings us to kind of the end of this little thing. Season 3 is over. Tobo, you got some social media you want to plug?
If you're curious about what I get up to, you can find me on Twitter at ToboTV. I will occasionally stream at twitch.tv/Toboshi, especially now that I've gotten XCOM 2.
Hell yeah. Warning Track, you got any social media we can find you on?
Find me at SpyPartyFans.com or Twitter.com/SpyPartyFans. And if you just happen to be in the Seattle area later this week, you might want to swing by the convention center and say hello.
That is true. So that is it. Let's see, what else do we want to say? Oh, yeah, so that brings Season 3 to a close. Special shout-out to Crazy Kaylee, as always, for organizing the damn season, because it is a lot of work. And winning, I suppose, winning your own tournament. But, that's tradition here at SpyParty. Also, shout-out to Catnip for running things behind the scene, Wodar for helping organize the casts. I know there's a ton of other people who helped out with, rules and organization, so shout-outs to all of them, everyone who played. It was a pretty successful season, if I do say so myself. The game is SpyParty, currently in open beta. You can buy it for the low price of $15 US at www.spyparty.com. It is available for PC and Mac. And like Kaylee said, like Warning Track said, if you are in the Seattle area next weekend and you're going to be at PAX, please feel free to stop by, say hello. Most of the community is going to be at the SpyParty booth. So come by, say hello. You can also try out the game if you want to try before you buy. I suppose that is it. I have been, and I continue to be Lieutenant Hummus. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/LTHummus, and Twitter at twitter.com/LTHummus. For Toboshi and Warning Track, I think that's all the time we've got here. Season 3 is in the books. Season 4 starting soon. Good night, everyone.